I guess I better get up here, huh? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing?
Good.
All right. My name is Jackie Williamson, and I'll be your worship associate for this service. This service is being broadcast live on YouTube and will be available as a recording on the UUFCC YouTube channel after the service. This is probably a real good time to turn off your phones, which I never forget to do. Then I never forget to bring them back on, but I'll try to remember to remind you. For those of you joining us virtually, you may wish to have a chalice or candle available for our chalice lighting ritual. And welcome to those who are watching on YouTube, and welcome to all of you here at the fellowship. Each week we gather together, even as we are in many different places, and whether our sacred space be virtual or live. The welcoming words this morning are by Joan Javier Duval and come from the UUU Worship Web. You are beloved and you are welcome here. Now, I'm going to put all of you guys to work. Ha ha! It's about time, it's not only me. Okay, in your program, or order of service, it's got the welcoming words. I'm going to say, you are beloved and you are welcome here. You are going to do everything that's in italics that says congregation. And I want you to think about the words when you say them, because they're really, really important. Well, hello there. Hi.
I'm trying to sneak in. Come on.
Honey, you didn't sneak in well. Not when I'm standing here. Okay. Are we ready? Okay. You are beloved and you are welcome here.
Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week, or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth.
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
Whether you are feeling brave or brokenhearted, defiant or defeated, fearsome or fearful.
You are beloved and welcome here.
Whether you have untold stories buried deep inside, or stories that have been forced beyond conventional comfort.
You are beloved and welcome here.
Whether you have made promises or broken promises, or are renewing your promises.
You are beloved and you are welcome here.
Whatever is on your heart, however it is with your soul in this moment,
You are beloved and welcome here.
in this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection, let us worship together.
Yes. Okay. Is there anyone that's new here for the first time? If so, please stand or wave or do something, and Doug will pass the microphone around so we can welcome you. No? Okay, well, we have one returning young lady that needs to say hi.
Hi, everyone. I'm Samara.
Hello, everyone. I'm Samara. It's been about 4 years since I've been here, and it's a pleasure to see you all.
I know, I'm waiting. Okay. Feelings are being, yes, of course. Okay. We are glad you have chosen to spend your Sunday morning with us. I have much gratitude to everyone who has contributed to making today's service happen, including our welcome, decorating, and tech team, our behind-the-scenes folks, office, worship associates, the board, the building and grounds, and cleaning people. And also, those who take turns caring for us by making coffee, bringing goodies, and cleaning up after the service. We will now have the prelude. Thank you, Corey. Our chalice lighting this morning is by Eric Hepburn. We light this flame to remind us love is the center. As we grow and connect, mature and deepen, love remains the center. When the light of truth burns all else away, love remains. And as Ginger lights the chalice, please join me in reciting our affirmation. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our aspiration, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. Okay, I would like to invite Laura A., our board secretary, to come up and begin our new member ritual. Where's Laura? Oops. Excuse me, we need to find Laura. Would you like to start? No.
Okay. In the meantime, we missed the opening song, Spirit of Life. You might want to put it somewhere else.
Why?
We missed Spirit of Life. We didn't sing it.
No, here it is. Oh. Okay. Miss Lori hasn't told me that we forgot to do the hymn number, and I don't even see it in here. Wait a minute.
123.
What is it?
123.
123? 123, Spirit of Life. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Rise in the sea.
Laura A., our board secretary, is going to come up and start this with the new members.
Good morning. In this community, we reach back into the past to honor those who came before us and those who have given so much so that we can be here today. And we reach forward with the hands of welcome today to embrace those who have newly joined our fellowship. The Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Charlotte County was started by a small group of free thinkers who wanted a place to grow their spirit and to be a place that is welcoming to many. Perhaps they were thinking of us when they were talking about their dreams for UUFCC. We honor their vision this morning by continuing to be a beacon of light in what sometimes seems like darkness around us. Our ancestors purchased this property and built this sanctuary. We honor the trees that shelter us and the water that flows nearby. We honor the Calusa ancestors who originally tended this land. Today is another milestone in the history of the fellowship. Today we have 3 new members. Cindy, Susan, and Arlene, would you come up and join me? Would you arm standing here? We are so fortunate to have found each other. We are bound together on this shared journey from the ancestors to a future that is unknown. We are bound together by a promise to help each other and to treat each other with respect. We are bound by a promise that we will help and allow others to help us. We are bound by the promise that we will be kind to others and treat each other with kindness. I now invite board co-presidents Lori and Laura to join us.
Today, we welcome into our community these new members. We have chosen to make a commitment to this congregation by signing our membership book. Cindy, Susan, and Arlene, we are so glad to have you here with us and that you've chosen this community of fellow seekers to travel with you on life's journey. Will you accept the gifts of fellowship, discovery, and service? Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts? Will you add your name to this long history of Unitarian Universalist individuals who spread hope with our living faith? Will you engage with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to love and justice? If you will, say we will. We will.
Congregation, now it's our turn. Will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts they bring to us? Will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? And if so, say we will.
We will.
Let us say together again the promise that we make each week to ourselves and to each other, which holds our community together with common purpose and common love in the midst of our beautiful diversity of beliefs. Love is the spirit of this fellowship, and service is its law. This is our aspiration to dwell together in peace, to seek truth and love, and to help one another.
Thank you. Thank you. Did they sit down? Yes.
right, could you please rise in body or spirit and sing hymn number 402 in the gray hymnal, From You I Receive. We're going to sing it twice because it's such a short song. Okay? Okay. Our opening words this morning are A Circle of Healing by Starhawk. We are all longing to go home to some place we've never been, a place half remembered and half envisioned. We can only glimpse of sometime, community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throats. Somewhere a circle of hands will open up to us. Eyes will light up as we enter. Voices will celebrate with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter. A circle of healing. A circle of friends. Someplace where we can be free. So be it. Okay, we have a tradition here of our Book of Life, which offers the opportunity to share your joys, sorrows, and life milestones with the rest of us by writing them in the red book. And I've checked, and there are no entries in there. We also, you can embrace the tradition of dropping stones in the bowl. This water symbolizes community, and the stones represent your joys or sorrow. This is the time to briefly share that which is most sacred to you. There will be a time for announcements later in the service. Please be aware we are creating a permanent record of these moments on YouTube. Please come forward and drop your stones.
I would like to drop a stone today for renewed relationships. This is somebody that's very special to me, who I haven't seen in years, and we are finally reconnecting.
I'd like to drop this stone with the gratitude of the power of communication and forgiveness. And I'm just really, really grateful for what we've been able to do with each other.
Good morning. I have a concern, which was me. I had been coming along with my walking, and then I fell on Friday. My left foot numb, and boop. So now my right knee's hurting, but it's getting better. But the joy is, a huge joy, is after the election, this wonderful fellowship opened up its doors last Wednesday and Thursday at 4 o'clock for people to gather. And there was some transgender individuals who were just needing connection and fellowship. So they came and connected, and hopefully they'll maybe come here to the fellowship. They know we are so welcoming. And also there was a parents who, the mother, her words, has 3 queer children, and she had been just crying every day. She came, and her husband really might consider coming here. They know will welcome their family. So that's a blessing. This fellowship is a blessing. I appreciate y'all.
I have had hatred in my heart for about, 12 years? I don't know. You probably know what I'm referring to. My friend and I talked yesterday. If our bodies are full of love, there is no room for hatred. So we must fill our souls with love. I look around, there is not one person in this room that I don't feel love for. Thank you.
I'm here to talk about a struggle I'm having. I've had some setbacks in getting the warm clothes that we are collecting, thank you all, up to Asheville and to the right people. UU is shut down. There's nobody there. Nobody answering phones, nobody taking care of anything. So that tells me how bad things are there. I've talked to several charities. Charities are not accepting clothing. They're accepting money and appliances and stuff. They recommended we call the churches. So that's where I am right now. I might need help calling all the churches in Asheville to see if we can find a church that will take and distribute these wonderful warm clothes and blankets. We know that people need them. We know this. It's going to be cold, and there's no place to shop. We know people need them. So we need to find a church that will help us, or we have to drive up there and distribute them. And then we're going to have to find the people who need them. So we kind of really need a contact in Asheville. So if anybody wants to reach out and help me with that, I'd really appreciate it.
My first cousin is one of the leaders of Move On and lives in Asheville, and he is going to be delighted to help you. So prayers are answered here. Where is God anyway? All around us? Anyway, I just want to thank all of you for the love I felt when they removed the kidney stone, right? Or the stone right at my urethra, Franklin, and this past week, and did a wonderful job, but went in and cut some things on the ureter, not Franklin, and frankly put me in the hospital for 4 days because of blood clots. But it was so wonderful. Good Samaritan, not Good Samaritan. Is it Good Sam? Anyway, I was Sarasota Memorial. I was so well taken care of, and I am so thankful. And the stone that was removed, I drop.
Oh dear.
in thankfulness, and may all of our ills come before us to be healed by our loving friends and our community.
I'm back just because of the Asheville. My son lives there. He has been taking anything he can get to a little Hispanic church. They welcome it. They give him some pawpaws, some persimmons in exchange. So talk to me after. There's also a project where they need people to knit or crochet the plastic bags, bread wrappers or plastic bags for mats on the floors of their tents, which will make a big difference when you're sleeping in a tent in winter weather. So talk to me after if you're interested in this. And I didn't even put a stone in before. I'll put 2 in now.
Excuse me. November 20th is Transgender Day of Remembrance. On Wednesday, maybe you could remember the hardships faced by someone whose gender identity differs from that assigned at birth. As a lesbian, I have lived with hardships caused by people making judgments about the person that I love. It breaks my heart that we never learn to accept people for who they are. The last stone represents unspoken joys and sorrows in our hearts. May we hold these in each other in love and tenderness, so that this fellowship may be a source of strength and comfort, courage and hope in the days and weeks ahead. Please join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to invite my good friend, Reverend Chrystal, back to the pulpit. Her message is entitled, Let's Start to Repair Now.
Thank you. Thank you. You all know my wife, Ann Barker. We've been together now over 32 years. In the middle of our relationship, Ann became the director of Lifespan Religious Education at the Fox Valley UU Fellowship in Appleton, Wisconsin, where she served for over 13 years. For the first year of her employment, I did not attend services with her. In fact, I didn't really know that much about UUism until she took on this position. But she needed to get herself known and be known by the congregation. Gradually, I was invited to start attending, and eventually I became often the emergency substitute teacher, the emergency nursery assistant, and if I wasn't assisting or substituting, I became the one who organized the supply closet. I have one of those brains that can sort and make things fit. I could tell any teacher on which shelf and the approximate location on that shelf for whatever supply they needed. And I often made sure those supplies were in the classroom for the lessons. Perhaps the one job I particularly enjoyed substituting for was the message for the young ones during the service. Most often it would be reading a book, especially if it was a last-minute substitution. The children's story was usually near the beginning of the service before the children were dismissed to their classrooms. I had the most interesting skill of being able to read the story to the children while holding the book in front of me at the eye level of the children so they could see the pictures. Yes, I could read upside down. I think I impressed the adults just about as much as anything there. Oh, and by the way, don't ask Ann about any other unique talents I might have, because I think she could probably go on all day. I think as adults that we forget, or perhaps don't know how powerful the message of the children's story, not just for the children, but to remind ourselves as well. As I prepared for this sermon, a story kept finding its way back into my thoughts, and I went back to the message of that story. And so I invite you to listen as I read you a story, a folk tale from Ethiopia. Long ago, fire, water, truth, and falsehood lived together in one large house. Although all were polite to one another, they kept their distance. Truth and falsehood sat on opposite sides of the room, and fire constantly had to leap out of water's path. One day they went out hunting together and found a large number of cattle and began driving them to their village. "Let us share these cattle equally," said Truth as they traveled across the grasslands. "This is the fair way to divide our spoils." Well, no one disagreed with Truth except Falsehood. Falsehood wanted more than an equal share, but kept quiet about it for the moment. As the 4 hunters traveled back to the village, Falsehood went secretly to Water and whispered, "You are more powerful than fire. Destroy fire, then we will all have more cattle for each of us." Water flowed over fire, bubbling and steaming until fire was gone. Water meandered along, cheerfully thinking about all the more cattle for itself. Falsehood, meanwhile, whispered to Truth, "Look, see for yourself. Water has killed fire. Let us leave Water, who has cruelly destroyed our warm-hearted friend. We must take the cattle high into the mountains to graze, so that we are out of Water's reach." As Truth and Falsehood traveled up the mountain, Water tried to follow, but the mountain was too steep, and water does not flow uphill. Water washed down upon itself, splashing and swirling around rocks as it tumbled down the slope. Look and see, for water is still tumbling down those mountain sides to this day. So now Truth and Falsehood arrived at the mountain top. Falsehood turned to Truth and said in a loud voice, "I am more powerful than you. You will be my servant. I am your master, and all the cattle belong to me." Truth rose up and shouted, "I will not be your servant." And they battled and battled. Finally, they brought the argument to Wind to decide who was master. Wind did not know. So Wind, being Wind, blew all over the world to ask people whether truth or falsehood was more powerful. Some people said, "A single word of falsehood can destroy truth." And falsehood is easier to market to the masses than the truth. Others insisted, like a small candle in the dark, truth can prevail and drive out darkness. After all, falsehood has no substance of its own. It's simply the absence of truth. Wind finally returned to the mountain and said, "I have seen both truth and falsehood are equally powerful, and one cannot prevail for long against the other, and it shall be that way forever." Then Spirit spoke from a cloud on the mountain top. "No, this leaves people with no hope. The one that is more powerful is the one who will withstand the test of time. Take one away and see what happens to the other. Take away truth, and over time falsehood will not stand, it will stumble over itself. But take away falsehood, and over time truth will continue to stand like a light on this mountaintop. Truth will remain the same till the end." So the contest is not so much between truth and falsehood, but between the wise one who seeks truth and the foolish one who settles for momentary satisfaction. I could, and perhaps I should, just stop here and go sit down. This is a powerful message, and it is applicable to us today, every bit as much as 100 years ago. The message is as bold as any moral to any fable, and I had not heard this particular story before finding it among the UUA website for the theme of this month, repair. For those of this community who have experienced living in the northern regions for many years in a row, you have the ritual experience of autumn and the movement into the dark, long, dark time of winter. It's really odd that during this same time of year, living here in one of the highest populated areas for northerners to come, to get away from winter's cold and blowing snow, there's still the movement into the darkest time of our year. Many religions take time in autumn for recognition and celebrations around the living and the dead. And we heard that even here this morning in the ritual of receiving new members. We honored those ancients and those who come. The Jewish feast of Yom Kippur is about tending our relationships with the living, but it also includes honoring those who have died over the past year to help the living grieve and move on. Wiccans honor, I can't say it now, Samhain, thank you, as a time to celebrate the lives of those who have died, and it often pays respect to the ancestors, family members, elders, friends, and other loved ones who have died. It is the festival of darkness, and it is balanced with the festival of light in the springtime. Christians honored those who have died over the past year on the days of All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day. Hindus, Sikhs, and Jains celebrate Diwali, which signifies the victory of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. The festival promotes the message of illuminating our cores with clarity and positivity. There was also recently the federal holiday of Veterans Day, which was initiated in 1919 with the armistice ending World War I, the war to end all wars. Any of these traditions can and should remind us that not only is the world broken, but so are all of us. People enter and leave our life journeys, sometimes with intended endings and other times unwelcomed endings, leaving behind hurts and losses. If World War I was the war to end all wars, we certainly have not learned the lesson nor understood how to change it. Wars continue, and some have never stopped, but maybe have taken pauses. According to the Geneva Academy, there are currently 45 armed conflicts in Middle Eastern and North African countries. And if that's not enough, there are 35 armed conflicts in Africa, usually within countries in Africa. In Asia, there are 21 in Asia, 7 in Europe, and at least 6 in Central and South America. War never ends. Armed conflict means killing, death, and destruction. But so as to not leave you in this darkened place, come back to the truth and remember from the story, over time, truth will continue to stand like a light on the mountaintop. I wonder, can we begin to repair the world by starting with ourselves and in our immediate surroundings? It can begin with a small action that can ripple its way to result in major changes, maybe only to ourselves, but maybe to the world around us as well. There is one among us who is going to use a ritual of lighting a candle at the hour of darkness to serve as a reminder both of truth as the light in the darkness and to be a light in the darkness, to bring light to those who are bogged down in the darkness. Many of us fear that this impending darkness will not just last until spring, but perhaps for as long as the next 4 years. It is daunting to think and imagine how the world will change in these next 4 years and even beyond that. Remember that in the truth there is hope. I invite you all to take a few moments to contemplate how each one of you might seek to repair one tiny speck in our world. Consider now how you might begin the process of repairing as you hear the words of Reverend David McFarland. Bless generously, curse rarely, practice repair. Read a book or a blog or watch a movie about something or some situation or someone beyond the ability to relate. To practice repair. Lean into comfort zones, strengths, and inklings of bliss. Practice repair. Pause to ask whether words are both skillful and absolutely necessary. Practice repair. Sing full-throated songs that create and recreate beloved community. Practice repair. Let go of stubborn self-righteousness and have mercy. Practice repair. Honor the ancestors who could not have imagined our lives or even our very being. Practice repair. Smile. Practice repair. Multiply joy. Divide sorrow. Practice repair. With the tools at hand, practice repair. Perhaps I have tools you could borrow. Perhaps you could lend me from your tools. And together, we practice repair. What will you do to practice repair? It will be you and I, individually and as community, that will hold the light to the darkness. It will be you and I, individually and as community, that will bring along hope to the world. It will be you and I, individually and as community, that will carry truth and emulate what it takes to repair ourselves and the world. Do not be dismayed by the brokenness of the world, for all things break, and all things can be mended, not with time, as they say, but with intention. So go, love intentionally, extravagantly, unconditionally. This broken world waits in darkness for the light, and that light is within each of us.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Chrystal. Wow. It's like hard to come after that. Okay. In the tradition of Unitarian Universalists, congregations exist because of the generous support of members and friends. It is our privilege and our responsibility to ensure the health and future of this fellowship. We have several ways you can give. In the baskets that are being passed around, with the Venmo app made to UUFCC offering, you can mail a check to the office. We will now accept the offering. Thank you so much for your support for this fellowship. We appreciate your financial support. Now it's time to highlight UUFCC's events and activities. The back of the order of service has this week's calendar. Also, the weekly update has a calendar so you can check that. Today, we have the following announcements. Laura, would you like to come up?
I'll give this a shot.
Sure, go ahead.
Hello. I hope you've had some wonderful experiences in the past where you have made a difference and felt the true sense of community. Remember how satisfying that felt? The UUFCC Board of Trustees would like to offer you a chance to experience those feelings again. The UUFCC Labor Day this year was thankfully moved, thanks to Laura A's suggestion, from the blistering hot September Sundays of the past to the beautifully pleasant days of the present. Next Sunday, November 24th, instead of a service, we will have a chance to serve. Our building and our grounds need your help. There is an entire range of things that need to be done. While it's true that a few things do require some muscle, spreading mulch kind of comes to mind, the majority of the activities do not, like wiping down cupboards or taking down the decorating, delivering water to people who are outside. We want you to be able to participate no matter what. Don is going to hand out 2 clipboards, one for this side, one for that side. We know that there are those who aren't attending today but would love to help out next week, so please spread the word. In order to get some sort of count for supplies, for lunch, because we are providing lunch, we would appreciate it if you just write your initials on the sheet that's being passed around if you think that you'll be able to attend. And it's just your initials. We're not going to check it against it. We're just kind of counting up. See how many people would rather be inside, how many people would like to help outside. Okay, out in the social hall, you'll see 2 whiteboards. One are the things that I've noticed that need to be done from inside the building, and the other one is things that could be done outside the building. So if you see anything there that appeals to you, great, because we could use your help. Thank you.
There are other announcements. There's an ongoing women's support group starts Tuesday, November 19th from 4:30 to 6:30 in the sanctuary. led by Reverend Ann. Whee! Oh, and we already, okay. On Tuesday, the 26th at 2 p.m., Aubrey Sykes will lead the book discussion of Comfortably Unaware of What We Choose to Eat by Richard, oh boy, Openlander. All are welcome. Now, I would like to invite Ginger to come up and extinguish the chalice. Please join me in reciting the words in the order of service. We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of hope, the fire of commitment, or the warmth of community. May these ideals shine in our lives and warm our hearts until we are together again. Now, oh, in peace. Now, I've kind of changed the last thing because I wanted to, okay? That's what I do. Okay. Oh, it's so good to be able to do something like that. Okay, we have November birthdays, and we have quite a few. So what I've decided to do is we're going to rise and body your spirit, and we're going to sing happy birthday to these people. Now, it's Catherine S., Mark E., Nancy W., Don L., Linda Q., K.A., and Ted Z. And when we get to, we'll say, blah, 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 just walk to all. Not, we won't name all these people again, okay? So you're going to rise and body your spirit, and we're going to sing happy birthday to these people because after all, why not? Okay. Does somebody want to start out the happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear all. Happy birthday to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Now, Reverend Chrystal is going to do our benediction. Whatever.
Benediction,
Her
yes.
benediction.
Just to let you all know, we did not get together to make this service happen, but boy, I think the themes ran through just about everything we did this morning. And may you all be blessed with all of that ritual and light.
Yes.
Light. How's that? And so I offer this benediction for us. Deep peace of the running wave to you. Deep peace of the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth to you. Deep peace of the shining stars to you. Deep peace of the infinite peace to you. And now go forward and be the light. Amen. May it be so.
I love you. We did. We did.
Well, within the time frame that you were designated.